Welcome back to the channel. Now, I looked everywhere. Well, I can't say everywhere, but I looked on Google and I looked on the CMT website. So, I decided to go look up some, maybe there's a code of ethics we should go by. I know there is. And I came across some stuff in the CMT, little prep exam. I came across an older copy of some of the stuff, and it started asking things like if, let's just say, yeah, and it had several different examples, so they were all each a little bit different, okay? And you can go down and look through your little practice handbook here. And let's see what we can find. Well, maybe we should go and throw that in another tab and get the little booklet up too. Okay. And we got the Investopedia. So, and there's some things you might find. Whether they apply or not. So it seems like you have to go right to the CMT to get the answers, or I'm sure they have stuff on like the FINRA websites too. But if we wanted to get a certification, so it looks like a CFA, CMT, we would have to go through and take these tests. Okay, so let's see what we say. Professionalism, knowledge of the law, okay, independency and objectivity, misrepresentation, okay, candidates must not knowingly make any misrepresentations relating to investment analysis, okay. And misconduct, members and candidates must not engage in any professional conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, or deceit. So this is probably a big one that they like to talk about. And that probably has to do a lot with, like, why they shut down the Yahoo chat room. But, that's probably what it was, which a place for people, like Reddit, a place for people to collaborate, that's great, or to share their analysis and say, look at this, and look at this, and look at this. I really like it because. But for, Harry to tell Sally to go buy it because he likes the stonk, and she does it, and then loses money, I mean, okay, that seems to be a problem. We can't just do blind things. I mean, of course, you're responsible for that. So there's a lot of things we have to go through here. Diligence and reasonable basis. Loyalty, prudence and care. Fair dealing. Let's see. Saltability, I suppose. Okay. Communication with clients and prospective clients. Okay. Record retention. That's a good one. Always keep the tax stuff. Performance presentation. When communicating investment performance information, members and candidates must make reasonable efforts to ensure that it is fair, accurate, and complete. I see. Okay. So maybe if I do see something, don't leave it out, even if I don't like it. Okay. So looking at a chart and saying, I don't like that crossover is just as good as saying I do like it. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see. Disclosure of conflicts. Must take full and fair disclosure of all matters that could reasonably be expected to impair their independence and objectivity or interfere with respective duties to their clients. Oh, I see. I would say conflicts of interest. Pushing stocks for a company, someone else owns, things like that. I think they made movies on a guy, Let's see, what else? Of course, there's loyalty in matters related to their employment. Candidates must act for the benefit of their employer and not deprive their employer of the advantage of their skills and abilities. Well, I sure would hope not. Divulge confidential information or otherwise cause harm to their employer. Okay. Let's see, additional compensation arrangements, responsibilities or supervisors? Of supervisors. Okay. So it gets to be, sure, there's some tedious things in here, but really a lot of them are common sense and just, honesty. Okay. Determine that an investment is suitable to the client's financial situation and consistent with the client's written objectives, mandates, and constraints before making an investment recommendation or taking investment action. That's probably a big one there. Or taking investment action, which means someone did that once before taking investment action. Okay. Judge the suitability of investments in the context of the client's total portfolio. Judging what size it might be, the position they want to take and or build. So that's kind of neat. And we come up on some things here in our 2014 edition of the little booklet here. We can go through and check these out. We've got knowledge of the law, independence, and objectivity. The same things we just went over. All right. Seems like they're going to touch more on these in depth in our little practice booklet here, though. Let's see where we can jump to. We've got 294 pages. Let's see if we can... let's jump over to page 75 from Market Manip. 75. Little 75. All right, market manipulation. Since this just seems to be the thing. All right. Members and candidates must not engage in practices that distort prices or artificially inflate trading volume with the intent to mislead market participants. Information-based manipulation, transaction-based manipulation. All right, so we got Standard 2B requires that members and candidates uphold market integrity by prohibiting market manipulation. Well, of course. Okay. Market manipulation damages the interest of all investors by disrupting the smooth functioning of financial markets and lowering investor confidence. Why, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. Market manipulation may lead to the lack of trust in the fairness of the capital markets. And that is true. Well, I can't say we. I've noticed a decline in trust, resulting in a higher risk premiums and reduced investor participation. Now, I've seen more investor participation here lately, but it's good that they cover all of these things, okay? Market manipulation includes the dissemination of false or misleading information in transactions that deceive or would be likely to mislead market participants by distorting the price setting mechanism of financial instruments. The development of new products and technologies increases the incentive, means, and opportunities for market manipulation. Additionally, the increasing complexity and sophistication of the technologies used for communications with market participants have created new avenues for manipulation. Very interesting. So you're saying that the fact that we have technology is why it's being, manipulated? I mean, it's, I don't know. So, information-based manipulation includes, but is not limited to, spreading false rumors. No one would do that. To induce trading by others. For example, hey, I got a hot ticket. Members and candidates must refrain from pumping up the price of an investment by issuing misleading positive information or overly optimistic projections of a security's worth, only to later dump the investment, i.e. sell it. Okay, so right here is going to be a little for-wordy loophole, all right? So as long as you're within the bounds here and can prove it, okay? And I just ran across another article that if I can find that, I'll pull it up and show it. That kind of said that, it was a market maker, I guess, describing that as the price would move, he might have to explain why and how that move is valid with a technical analysis type of answer, a basis. Okay. So this is really where that's going to take place. Refrain from pumping the price of an investment by issuing misleading positive information. You can put out positive information and you can be optimistic, but you can't just outright lie and say $400,000, $50 million, and expect, of course, then people are just going to think you're crazy anyway, But, of course, if you're wrong, you're crazy. So, but if you're right, you get in trouble and you get to go to court. So, and then dump the investment. All right. Fueled by the misleading informations. Okay, effect. All right. On the other market participants reaches an artificially high level. Okay. And what is this transaction-based? That involves instances where a member or candidate knew or should have known that his or her transactions could affect the pricing of a security. This type of manipulation includes, but is not limited to, the following: transactions that artificially affect the prices or volume to give the impression of activity or price movement in a financial instrument, which represents a diversion from the expectations of a fair and efficient market. And, okay, I guess we just, next bubble, securing a controlling dominant position in a financial instrument to exploit and manipulate the price of a related derivative and or the underlying asset. So I believe this is what we would call the corporate rating, possibly. You might bunch that in there. You acquire the whole company and then just kind of run it into the ground. Okay. What is this one? I think we already read this one. Not intended to preclude transactions undertaken on legitimate trading strategies based on perceived market inefficiencies. The intent of the action is critical to determining whether it is a violation of this standard. Okay, so standard 2B is not intended to preclude transactions undertaken on legitimate trading strategies. Okay, so I think this is where that particular article also got its, basis on, where they said, you moved the price to here, tell me why, and prove it. And, okay. And this is why really smart people are able to deal with, bell curve, standard deviation, do the maths. things like that. Let's see. Independent analysis and company promotion. Okay. So this is probably going to be something. You're going to have to do your independent analysis. Okay. And you're not going to want to let anybody, let's see. Here we go. And see, you wouldn't want Mr. Gray here to sell his position. Yeah, just because someone tells him the volume looks funny. Kind of looked like that was getting at, but like I say, we'll have to go over and read all these, take the little pretest, and yeah, maybe they give us a little grading thing at the end. I bet not. I bet I just get to take the test. If there's not a syllabus, I should be able to find one, or at least get the answers. Then if I have the answers, I'll know what to study for next time. Suitability. We always fail. That's how we succeed. All right. So I really didn't see very much out there on the code of ethics or standards of what people should be hoping to hold themselves to as for videos and information, at least related to YouTube videos. So there's a couple pieces of information here, and I'm on the cmtassociation.org website. So I'm sure anybody interested can just go right over there and get that. There we go.